saying goodbye always sucks, whether it's a home that you've lived in, whether it's a job, whether it's somebody who has meant a lot to you, or whether it's just something that you've owned for a while. It's never easy to say, so long and thanks for all the fish. But today, I'm going to have to do that. I'm going to have to say goodbye to something that I have felt very deeply about for some time, something that I have wanted to do for a really long time, but which it has become apparent to me in the last year, I do not have the skills to successfully do. Or rather, I have the skills, but I don't have the time, and I definitely don't have the money. For those who've watched this channel for the last couple of years, you'll know about the Honda Insight. This car here, it's a 2001 Honda Insight. It was converted more than a decade ago now to electric, and its original conversion includes, if I can find the little doohickey for the bonnet, it includes an EV1 motor. And that EV1 motor has been one of the reasons why I've been so keen on working on this project, because this is a piece of history inside another piece of history with an all-electric drivetrain. It had a proprietary, basically one-off controller that the previous owner had engineered and put in the vehicle. It had a battery pack. We didn't have the battery pack when we picked up the car. And it needed to basically be completely rewired with modern batteries, a modern controller, and then put back on the road. And when we were offered a chance to get this, we said yes, because it was 2020 and we were really excited. And COVID was putting everybody off at pretty much every project. And we wanted to have an experience. We wanted to have a chance to have something a little special. And so we brought this car home from where it was previously living, south of Portland. And we said we were going to start working on it. We got a controller board that would help it work with a modern Chevrolet Volt inverter. And we made some grand plans, and we made a couple of videos about it on this channel. And alongside Kate Walton-Elliott's Morris Minor, this was going to be the other project for the channel. But plans change, people change, and YouTube channels change. When we took this car on, there was myself and Erin. We were the only two full-time members of staff, and Kate Walton-Elliott was working a little bit at a time. Since then, obviously we had Winter working for us for a while, we had Kit working for us for a while, and now we have Michael, our fantastic cameraman. And it's Michael, Erin, and Kate, and myself, and we are finding that we just don't have the time that we thought we had to work on this car. At the same point, in late 2020, I was diagnosed with a really rare heart condition, which threw me for six. I had a secondary cancer scare at the same time. And then I had a few more health scares between then and now. Dealing with new medication meant that I didn't have a lot of extra energy in the evening. I wasn't motivated to get out here and work on it. And I had other priorities. You know, I had keeping Transport Evolved running through COVID was definitely a challenge, and to this day still sometimes is. And so we made the extremely tough decision to say goodbye to this car. And I've been looking at it on my driveway, parked in front of my greenhouse, for weeks and weeks and weeks. And in fact, for the last year, I've looked at this car and thought, I am such a failure. I have been unable to work on this. I suck. And I suck at my job, and I suck at working on cars. And it became a bit of an albatross around my neck. It still is. I am so angry with myself that I have not been able to finish this. However, some changes in the last couple of months have prompted me to reach out to someone who reached out to me almost 3 years ago when I first got this car and said, hey, if you ever get rid of this car, please let me know. So I reached out to them, and they're still interested, and they're going to be here in about 10 minutes to pick it up. I'm not saying who they are because I want them to have the choice to make a video about it or not, or to be public about it or not. But they are someone who collects Honda Insights. They have 3 regular Honda Insights of the same generation as this, all hybrids. They are very familiar with the car. If anybody is going to get it back on the road, it's going to be them. They have contacts in the industry who can help them get batteries and help them figure out a controller and get it back and put it back on the road. And so today, this video is me saying goodbye. This is me saying, I am sorry, but also thank you. Seeing this car parked out the front of my house every day was not doing me any good. And a couple of months ago, a friend of mine put a different vehicle up for sale that I have wanted to own and use for a really long time. And I sat and I hummed and I hawed, and we have a rule, which is we have one project vehicle. And so while this is difficult to work on, the new project vehicle without giving the game away is one that I can easily work on in a small space. And so I think that is the vehicle that I haven't officially said yes. I haven't officially purchased it yet, but that is a vehicle that is functional, that needs some work doing to it to keep it on the road. And so that is something that I feel much more comfortable with than completely gutting this and starting again. I don't have a lot of the mechanical know-how to safely work on this. I have to do the brakes. I hate doing brakes, things like that. I am very handy. I mean, I used to service and work on my own cars. Replaced axles, replaced springs. There's a great video on YouTube about that from me and Kate from nearly 23 years ago now, I think. But I just haven't had the time. I haven't had the energy. I haven't had the money. And while a lot of YouTube channels have been able to get huge amounts of sponsorship for their projects, for whatever reason, Transport Evolved doesn't attract sponsors, whether it is because it's the way we present things, maybe it's how we talk, maybe it's just because we're rubbish at our job. I don't know, but we've never been able to pull in huge amounts of sponsors, and trying to find sponsors for this project proved A, fruitless, and B, it's taken a lot of our time that we need to focus on other things. Kate Walton-Elliott is struggling with her Morris Minor for the same reason, trying to find funding to do her project, whether it is from her own money or whether it is from sponsorship. It's really tough. And so she's still working on it. And Rebecca will be powered by electricity. It's just taking her a lot of time and energy. And for me, seeing this sat on my driveway week in and week out, just getting more and more unloved, it made me very sad. And so I don't like saying goodbye, but I think it is the right thing to do. And I think one of the challenges about being an adult, one of the challenges about growing older, is acknowledging that sometimes your hopes and your dreams are different from what you can actually achieve. And the world right now is a scary place for me. It's a scary place for many people like me. It's a scary place for people I love. It's probably a scary place for many of you. And I want to focus my time and energy on things, other things that are equally as important as getting this car back on the road, but leverage my skills in a better way. So, thank you, Honda. I'm sorry I didn't get you on the road as I had planned, but I'm really hopeful that you have a new life that allows you to have a rebirth as a cool, modern, converted EV with a freaking EV1 motor in it. And the person who is taking this car today, like I say, they know the car, they know the technology. They're really excited about the EV1 motor and the piece of history. And so I think it is going to the right home. And at the end of the day, I think that's the most important thing. So I don't want to say press F to pay your respects, because that is the wrong thing to say. But thank you, Honda. Thank you for being awesome. And safe travels. That's it for today's video. I hope it's not too much of a downer, but I think sometimes we just have to, acknowledge that life is not always as rosy as we'd like it to be. Anyway, if you want more, subscribe, hit the bell, and follow the links below to regularly support us with a YouTube membership or a Patreon subscription. You'll also find links to our Ko-fi, Bitcoin, and Swag store, as well as that aforementioned Mastodon server. Scrolling on my right is the list of amazing Charged Up supporters, and shout-outs go out to our V2G Patreon supporters. They are Alan Tupper, Andrew Martin, Bennett Elder, Brophy Wolf, Chris Maxwell, Cyprian Laplace, Dan Blair, Gordon C, Hey Esker, John Tramal, Kyle Fox, Mark Eggleton, Peter Dillinger, Regine Fellows, Sean Tucker, Stefan Fremgen, Stephen Williams, Taslet in the Gong, Paul Bricknell, Tony Moss, Carl Hodgson, Chris Asentar, Denny Hyde, Lance Schlal, Linda Irish, Mike Weeder, and Paul Nelson. And finally, big thanks to our off-grid supporters. They are Paul Conway, Kevin Burridge, Stephen O'Donoghue, Jim Burness, Robert Flannery, Aaron Hahn, Ellery Hensley, Rory Litwin, JP Fagerback, Dave Kitchen, Andrew Glenn, Anonymous Freak, Chris and Michael Johnson, CPU Freak 101, Eric Knack, Joe Bresney, John Henderson, Laura Reynolds, Marcel Ward, Matthew Drobnak, Nigel S, Reggie Watts, Will Graylin, and of course, Ian. And if I've got your name wrong, or I'm saying it wrong, please let me know. I know that Peter, we got your name wrong for a long time, and I want to apologise. I have got to the point now where my brain has been a bit weird of late, and I cannot remember exactly the correct way of pronouncing it, and my brain is not working and helping me. So if I have got people's name pronunciations wrong, please tell me. I will not be offended, and I will do my best to remember them, even though my brain is... It's on ADHD max today. I think it's because of the emotion of saying goodbye to this car. Anyway, don't forget that we make videos every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday on the main channel. And then on a Sunday, we're over on Take 2 for our Chicken and Garden and Sunday Musing. It is a Sunday when I'm filming this, so I would normally be over there. But today, this is on the main channel. And this is going out on Wednesday this week, so you're finding out about this. The car has already left by now. Anyway, back to normal for Friday this week. Thanks for joining me. Keep evolving.